Hi everyone. I'm here today doing the Art Journal 20 questions tag, which I created initially for my Summerlong Art Journaling group, but I thought it would be fun to just, once the group's finished, put it out there on YouTube and let the rest of you have a go. So questions will be down below if you want to join in. Do put it as a response or tag me or something, or let me know that you've done it, because I'd be really interested in seeing your answers. So there are 4 sections, 5 questions each. The first section is questions about you. Besides art journaling, what other creative things do you do? I am a musician. I play piano, clarinet, guitar, saxophone, violin, pretty much anything I can get my hands on really. I also crochet, and I like to alter clothes and things. I'm wearing a halter neck top today that I made out of an ordinary t-shirt. So, no sewing. I can sew, but I don't like to. Have you ever belonged to a live sketchbook group or journaling group, or taken part in circle journals, sketch crawls, etc. with friends? I haven't belonged to a live sketchbook or journaling group, but I'd like to. I used to do crops, like when I used to do scrapbooking, but never specifically a sketchbook. But I am starting up my own art journaling group for girls who live locally to me. There's quite a few of us, and I thought it'd be nice if we got together once a month and just did some art journaling together, so that'll be fun. Circle journals, yeah, I've done a lot of circle journals. I used to run circle journals when I was part of a scrapbooking forum, but not so much anymore. They're a bit too restrictive for me. I have a journal that goes backwards and forwards between me and one of my friends. We did have 2. I don't know what happened to the other one. I think she might have both of them. We just send them backwards and forwards, and we do bits in them and we send them back, and we've got sort of technically 1 each. Actually, I haven't seen the second one, which probably means that I've got it somewhere. Sketch crawls. I used to do sketch crawls when I was at uni. There was quite a few of us used to do art and stuff, and we'd say, oh, let's go off into Manchester and draw stuff, and that was kind of what we did at weekends. But not so much anymore. Since I don't have a car, it's a bit more difficult for me to get around, so I do go out on my own with the girls and sketch, but I don't have anybody to go with. Billy no mates. Do you recycle things to put in your journal? What, how often, and when? Yes, I do. Basically anything that I find interesting. So cinema ticket stubs I always put in my journal. Nice bookmarks that I find, the odd bus ticket, coffee receipt. If I go somewhere nice, and you get a flyer or a leaflet, I'll put that in there. I like to print out maps and stuff of places I've been. Yeah. Mostly paper. Mostly paper goes into my journal for recycling. I don't tend to recycle just any old bits, but I do recycle bits for just about everything else. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I recycle like packaging and ribbon and all that sort of stuff. Do you have any odd or unusual journaling habits? I suppose, yeah, I do actually. I think I'm a little unusual in that I don't complete 1 page at one go. I tend to have about 9 or 10 pages that I can work on at any one point. So, whether I feel like writing or sketching or doodling or colouring in or whatever, I have various different pages at various different stages of completion. And I've been known to go back to completed journals and do some more to them at a later date. That's just how I work. It's very rare, unless I'm doing a prompt or a challenge, I don't normally finish 1 page or 1 spread in a day or a sitting or whatever. I usually do bits and pieces here and there until I find something that goes with that particular image or that particular bit of writing or that quote or whatever. And it's not unusual for me to work out of order either. I've got pages in my journal. For instance, my current journal, I've got some writing in there that's from June, but the very first page says July. So, you know, I do dance about, and I don't always put things in chronological order in my journals, which I suppose is a bit unusual. A lot of people don't do that. They tend to do 1 page a day, 1 page a day, 1 page a day. I can't work like that. Desert Island, you already have your journal, basic tools, for example, gesso, scissors, pen and pencil, etc. What other things are you going to need? What one other thing are you going to need? Oh, my girls, obviously. I can live without just about anything else. If I've got pen and paper, or even pencil and paper, that's good enough for me for an art journal. Yeah, I would need my girls. Studio cat, who is having a snooze on my table at the moment. There she is. She's currently face planted the desk. And Maddie, crazy Maddie, and Miss Gypsy. Gotta have some company. What else would you write about if you're on a desert island? You'd have to have your animals to write about, wouldn't you? I don't know. Okay, section 2, 5 questions about your journals. How many of the following do you have? Just for interest, a slight twist on how long have you been art journaling. Complete journals, finished but incomplete journals, and journals you consider in progress. Completed journals, I'm going to lump, well, if I say just art journals, like just art journals, probably maybe 15 to 20, but complete altogether journals, sketchbooks, written journals, art journals with writing in, art journals without writing in, because even my sketchbooks I used to use as a diary, probably about 80. But don't forget, I've been doing this 30 odd years. I've been doing this since I was 7, so, you know. I think most of those were completed while I was at university. I was at university for 4 years altogether. Actually, probably at college as well, so over a period of about 7 years when I was at college and at university. I think that was probably when I was most prolific, because I didn't go anywhere without my journal. I would sit in the Students' Union all day. If I didn't have lectures, in between lectures, I'd be sat in the student bar journaling. It's just what I did. Finished but incomplete journals. I've probably got about 20, but I never really consider them finished. At some point I will go back to them, no matter how old they are, and finish them off. Usually if I don't finish a journal, it's because I don't like the paper. And if I don't finish a journal, I don't really start it, if that makes sense. So like the one I had the other week, that I didn't like the paper, it kept pilling up on me, and I did like 5 pages and I decided I couldn't handle it anymore. I will never finish that journal. It's no longer an art journal as far as I'm concerned. It's now my sticky book, because it takes glue very well, and you can collage in it and paste in it really well, but you can't draw in it or sketch in it or watercolour in it or anything like that. So I'm just using it for my inspiration book to paste images in that I like. I quite often will get bored with a book, usually because of the size or the paper or whatever, sort of part way through, and then I'll switch to another one, and then I'll go back to it at a later date. So I have a lot of incomplete journals, but not all of them are finished, if that makes sense. So lots of ones that I'm finished with for now. I don't have any intention of doing anything with them at the moment. Journals you consider still in progress. Yes, I have my current journal, which is my big 9x7 sea white book, which I'm absolutely loving. I've got my Art Doodle Love book, which I just wanted to work on plain paper for a while, and I will absolutely go back to my Art Doodle book at some point, because I really like working on pre-painted pages, and I love the paper and the size and everything about it. I have my travel journal, which, as the name would suggest, I only use when I'm going away. So if I'm away for a weekend, or I'm on holiday or whatever, that's the one I take with me, because it's nice and easy to use. It's a very small moleskin type one, and it's just really nice paper to work on. And I have special purpose ones. I've got various ones of those, like my book shadows, for instance. I've got 2 of those on the go at the moment, an A4 one and a handmade A5 one, and I use one for sticking and pasting and the other one for actually drawing and writing in. So yeah, I've got quite a few journals in progress. I would say maybe 10 to 12, possibly more, that I consider ones that I use for a specific purpose, but I only have my art journal and my art doodle love book that I'm using as an art journal right now. What and how much do you write in your journals? I write in my journals all the time. Yeah, lots, anything, basically. It could be anything from something I've seen on TV, to something I saw when I was out and about, to having a bad day, to having a good day, funny stuff about the girls. It could be anything, absolutely anything. Quotes that I like, I write websites down, I write phone numbers down, yeah, anything, literally, goes into my journal. Do you rant in your journals, and if so, what about? Yeah, absolutely. If something pees me off, absolutely, it goes in the journal. I unload into my journal so that I don't go off on one at somebody. Apart from recycling, what non-art supplies do you regularly use in your journals? Everything's an art supply if you look at it the right way. But I suppose apart from just recycling stuff, non-art supplies. That's tricky, tricky. Non-art supplies. Non-art supplies. Cat hair. Dog fur. I don't know, everything. Anything that, if it'll stick to a page and it's useful and it's right, yes, I'll stick it in. Absolutely. I'm not fussy about what I put in my journals. If it fits, it goes in. Simple as that. Do you ever journal out and about or outside your own house, garden environment? Yes, absolutely. My journal goes everywhere with me in some form or another, whether it's my travel journal or if I've just got my pocket notebook with me, I'll doodle in there, or, you know, normally I take my actual art journal with me, especially now I've found one that's the right size and the right weight to be able to carry it about. It's my default thing to do. If I'm sitting around waiting for a bus, out comes the journal. If I'm sitting having a coffee, out comes the journal. If I'm meeting up with a friend and they're late, out comes the journal. In fact, they're usually on time, but I'm 2 hours early so that I can sit there and journal while I have a coffee. It's just my default thing. I don't like sitting doing nothing, so out comes the journal. Okay, 5 questions about caring and sharing. Yes, really, I included this in my tag. Is your journal a healing tool for you? If so, how? And if not, why not? No, absolutely not. It's not a healing tool at all. I don't go in for all that. It is cathartic for me, but catharsis isn't the same as healing. Healing, for me, means repairing or making something whole again or addressing issues. Catharsis is just getting rid of the overabundance of that's going on, you know, whether it's good or bad. So catharsis, definitely. If I'm having a good day, out it all comes in my journal. If I'm having a bad day, out it all comes in my journal. If I'm having a bit of an day, it comes out in my journal. But healing and, you know, addressing issues and all that, no, I don't do any of that rubbish. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't think it's beneficial. Not for me. To me, it's funny because we had a big discussion about this on Facebook the other day. Healing art, for me, is art therapy, and art therapy should only be engaged in by professionals under professional tuition and professional guidance, because you never know what you're going to dredge up. And I'm not the kind of person who feels they need therapy. You know, things happen, I deal with it, I move on. I don't dwell on things. So yeah, for me it's very much about right now, what's happening. Am I overexcited about something? It comes out in my journal. Am I annoyed about something? It comes out in my journal. Have I been having a really tired day where Maddie's been leaping at me all day and now I'm shattered? Yeah, that comes out in my journal. Yeah, so it's cathartic, but not healing. Apart from what you share by choice online, does anyone or do you let anyone ever just browse your journals? Not really. Not really. I don't mind people flicking through and looking at my artwork. And my sketchbooks, absolutely. I've got no problem with people looking at my sketchbooks, but no. I prefer not to share my journals because my journals for me are very personal. They are as much about what I write on them as what I draw on them. And quite often, if I share a page, it will be before I've written anything on it. And then if you see the page at a later date, it will usually be either blurred out or it'll be so far away you can't really you can only see the overall page, you can't read the writing because I have minuscule writing. Yeah, I don't really share them, they're personal for me, but I might share the layout of the page. I would not share what's written in them necessarily, and I don't always share my artwork. You know, sometimes I draw something and I just think, oh, I don't feel any need to share that. Don't want to. But yeah, people have flipped through them, but it's funny, I tend to allow people to flip through my current journal, or one that is sitting around half finished, but my finished journals, they go in my box, and no, the only person who really looks through those is me. It's kind of like an archive, my box. That's where I put my old ones that are no longer relevant to me. But anything that's just lying around the studio half done, that's open season as long as people aren't reading what I've written. I've lost my place. Do your friends and family know you're a journal keeper? Do they think you're a little crazy? Do they support your habit? Yes, yes and yes. My mum is actually the person who got me into keeping a journal in the first place when I was very little. I was always encouraged to keep a journal, a sketchbook, everything, put it all in together. My mum's kept one for years. In fact, my mum's kept one I think since she was a little girl, so she's looking at 60 odd years of journal keeping. And again, because she's an artist, you know, she sketches in hers, she draws in hers, she does finished pieces, she writes, she paints, she does everything in hers that you would expect to find in an art journal. And I was encouraged to do the same. And my family know that I still do it, so do my friends. Some of them do think I'm a little crazy. Yes. Some of them don't see the point. There's a lot don't see the point. And you know, if you don't see the point, you don't see the point. If you do see the point, then you tend to be somebody who gets into it or gets into something similar. Do they support your habit? Yes. Yes, I have quite a few enablers in my life. I also have a few people who save up scraps for me, turn up with bagfuls of stuff going, oh, I saved these for you, look. And people who deliberately send me presents in tissue paper because they know I'll use it. That sort of thing. Even my flatmate, actually, it was her birthday a couple of weeks ago and she had balloons with streamers on and she saved the streamers for me. And she saves bubble wrap and things. She's trained already. Privacy, how important it is to you? Is it to you? Very. My space is my space and I like my space to be private. If I want to share or if I want to show somebody what I've done, then I will do so. But I will do it in my way, in my time. And the rest of it is, you know, it's personal to me. What would be your one piece of advice to anyone new to journaling, not necessarily art journaling? Go with your gut. That's all I can say. Go with your gut. Don't get hung up on, oh, can I use this in this book? Can I use this on this paper? Do I need to gesso this? Do I need to... 20 questions about getting it right. There is no right. There is only what you do and whether you like it or not. And if you like it, you like it, and it's good. And if you want to share it, share it. And if you don't want to share it, don't share it. And if you want to photocopy it and use it as collage later on, do so. And if you don't like it, that's fine too. Just turn the page and do something else. But don't buy into the whole you must do it this way, or you must use this, or oh, you can't use this, that and the other. I mean, you know, there are certain things. There's only one thing that I will not allow in my journal. Boys, children and dogs. The only thing that I will not allow in my journal is standard sellotape. Not packing tape. Packing tape is archival, but proper, you know, sellotape type stuff. I won't have that in my journals because I did use it once upon a time and it turns yellow and it's nasty and it's gloopy and it comes unstuck and it deteriorates absolutely everything it comes in contact with. It's disgusting. I will not have that in my books. Other than that, anything goes. So, you know, don't get caught up in the, oh, I'm not doing it right. There is no right, there is only what's right for you. And if what's right for you is working on lined paper with a pencil, then that's what's right for you. Just do it. Oh, right, last bit, quick fire round. Name your preference. Ink or paint? Ink. Pen or pencil? Ooh. That's tricky because I like coloured pencils a lot. But I think, yeah, generally pen. I'd rather work in pen. In your face or subtle? I suppose my style is quite in your face. I don't really do subtle. I do, wow, colour. Wow, black and white. Photos or collage scraps? I like photos. I used to be very into just collage scraps, but lately I've got into photos. Sketches you've done or magazine cutouts? Definitely sketches. Why put a magazine cutout in when you could sketch the magazine cutout instead? That's the way I look at it. So there you go, there's my 20 questions tag. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, the colour questions will be down below. This is actually being filmed at the beginning of July for the Summerlong group, so from the middle of July they'll have seen it, and this will go live at the end of July for you, the rest of you who want to join in. So if you want to join in, or you want to tag someone to do the journaling thing, journal tag, go ahead, it's absolutely fine. Put your videos as a response below, and I will also put links to all the other teachers and students and things who have shared their videos publicly, because we had quite a few people do it. We've had Eveline Timeless, Fiona Charlou, Anna Stubbington, Claire Horner, who you might not recognise her name, but you'd know her as Got Paint in My Hair, and Darcy Wilkinson. And also we had a guest art journaler who was Jenny Belly, so she did a very nice little interview and tutorial with us as well. So I think she'll be letting that go public as well, so I'll put that all in the information bar below. Have fun, happy journaling!